Hi there, this is Amanda Johnson, Superstar Director for Team Kickin Wicks, and I'm here today to talk to you about building your business with basket parties. We talked about online parties in our last video, but today we're going to talk about basket parties, what they are, who you want to be sharing them with, when, where, why, all that good stuff. So let's jump right in. Let's first define what a basket party is, because I know this is something that we get a lot of questions on. Quote-unquote basket parties, also known as catalog parties, are defined as on-the-go party that you send with the host to share with the people they come into contact with on a daily basis. So if you've been, done parties for other direct sales companies, you might know them as catalog parties. We call them basket parties because we put more than catalogs in them to really give customers a better experience with our products, since we're not there in person to share warmers and all that good stuff with them. The host shares the catalogs. They're going to let other people smell the testers, experience the product, and then they're going to collect orders on your behalf to hopefully get to their host rewards, to get the goodies that they'd like to have. In this format, the host is the one sharing versus you. So the host is kind of acting like a temporary consultant, which is why coaching is going to be so key. And we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But of course, in an in-home party, you're going to be there presenting and talking to the customers and answering their questions. Same thing with an online party format. In this case, the host is kind of acting like a liaison or an in-between person for you and the potential customer. So preparing them is really key. Basket parties are a great way to grow your business, and why is because we have customers that run really busy lives just like you, and so this is a way for them to still be able to participate as a host, get those host rewards, but do it in a way that works best for their schedule. So who are you going to ask to book basket parties? Well, they're really great for the host who doesn't really have a good space. Maybe they live in a small home or apartment or duplex where there's really not parking or a place for them to have a home party, or their schedule isn't compatible. So maybe they work second or third shift, or it just is too crazy for them to try to book something in their home. Basket parties are a really great way to give them that opportunity without being in person like that. We really encourage you to try to book in-home parties first, because we really know that that's a great way for you as a consultant to make connections and build relationships with people. But we also know that people are crazy, right? Schedules are crazy. So work for that first. Ask them, say, hey, would you be interested in letting me come over to your house, or meeting at a coffee shop or whatever, and sharing Scentsy with your friends. And if that doesn't seem to work for them, say, okay, that's fine. We actually have another great option that's great for your busy schedule. So I think you'd be really good at this, and then offer the basket party. I know our comfort level is to go straight to basket parties, but I want you to stretch and grow your business. And so start with the home party, fall back on the basket party. And then, if they're not even going for that, then go to online party next. People who are always on the go and around a lot of other people consistently make for great basket party host. If you are talking to someone who says, I don't go anywhere, I don't see anybody, I'm a hermit and I stay in my house all day, they might not be great for a basket party. So really think about your host, think about their daily life and the things that they're doing, and then try to think about which party format would work best for them. The what? Okay, so basket parties don't necessarily need to be in a basket. This is just a term that we use to reference this type of party. So when you hear basket, don't think it has to be like cute little wicker basket with a handle, all that good stuff. We're going to show you some really cool different ways people do basket parties here in just a second. So a basket party really is just that you're going to use whatever container, method, whatever, and then you're going to put these goodies inside. So you're going to put, of course, catalogs. Make sure they're labeled or have your information on the back. You're going to put order forms. On my order forms, I like to highlight that top section because I want to have all of their contact information. I always tell the host, be sure that your customers fill out that top section, so if they need to return a product or if they have an issue, I have their information to be able to reference. I'll also send them specials and all that kind of good stuff. I'll tell her also that she makes sure every guest fills out that top part, that I might throw in a special gift for her when her order comes in. And typically that is a scent of the bar or scent of the month bar that I already have on hand to be able to gift to her. And then I also, on the bottom of my order form, will go ahead and write in my tax rate so they can easily reference that. And then, of course, 0 shipping as long as we get to our qualifying party total. Of course, your testers for sniffing, it does not hurt anything to let your host know that those are just for sniffing, not for using, so that way people don't take them. But definitely encourage her to let people open them, smell them, check them out. And then samples for guests to use. So, the opposite of that would be giving them something they can use or try out. So maybe you're going to put like a bottle of counter clean, like a little sample size bottle of counter clean for them to like try out on a surface, or little wax samples for them to warm, something for them to really get to experience the product personally. And then, of course, monthly flyers are special. So your warmer of the month, if we have a special thing like Bring Back My Bar or a certain collection that's available at that time, that flyer can go in that basket party. Of course, information on joining. Your host is going to be checking all this stuff out. She might have somebody that's a customer that thinks that they might want to join. So don't skip out on putting that information in your basket party. A lot of people like to create information about their own story. So for me, I might put my own story in there, and then a little note about like I'd love to help you start your own and offer that information. And then a host packet checklist. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But something that just says, okay, these are the places to look. These are the things that you'll want to be sure to do. This is, I take, cash card checks, and this is who they make checks out to. Just a really simple form that just gives them all the FAQs, if you will, about doing a party. And then maybe you want to put in full-size product for them to use. So maybe you put in a full-size bottle of counter clean, or maybe even a warmer that you used to use. It's just kind of sitting around. Stick that in there with a bar of the scent of the month, and encourage them to plug it up and use it in the office or wherever they are while they have the party. Again, we are an experience product, so the more you're able to help the people experience what we have, the better your sales will be. Okay, so here's some examples of some different basket parties that I found online, and you can see really there's so many different ways to do that. Up here we have, a basket party that's got a sidekick in it. It's got a warmer. It's got a full-size bottle of either a counter cleaner, bathroom cleaner. It's got a lotion. It's got the testers. It's got all sorts of goodies in it. But don't think you have to go that far. You might do something really simple and basic. On the top right there, they just have a little 3-tiered stacked, Rubbermaid type container that's got different goodies in each layer that they can easily carry around and unstack. That's a really great option. Down here on the bottom left, we have a really cool case you can actually buy in the Scentsy Success Store, and it carries everything. I love this little one because it's just like you keep unfolding all these pockets and really cool things and keep finding things. But in that one, you can see we have, that person has living, the living the dream join information. They have their flyers for the month. They've got their catalogs. They've got their scent of the month bar. They've got a room spray. They've got their business cards, and then they have the testers and some samples there. Really great thing. Like I said, you can get these in the Scentsy Success Store along with like insulated totes, which are really great for doing basket parties. And then on the bottom right, you can see another great option, which is just, cute little, carrier that's got all sorts of pockets for people to discover. So don't think that you're limited to one thing. It really comes down to your personality and what you would like for it to look like and what you put in it. Just use what you have. If you want to work up to having other goodies in there, work up to that. But you don't feel like if you're a brand new consultant, you can't start with exactly what you have. Of course, eye-catching, simple, and engaging basket parties will make it easier for your host to share. So if you have something really cute or fun and it's sitting on their desk at work, it's more likely that someone's going to come by and say, hey, what's that? And want to check into it. Okay, so when do you book a party? When does the host, let's discover the when. As mentioned before, basket parties are a great way for hosts who are always on the go, but they're also good for the on-the-go consultant. So if you personally have a really busy schedule where going to somebody's home for 2 hours one evening doesn't really fit for your schedule this month, basket parties can be your little employees that work for you all the time. So I would not say, I would say try to make a balance in your business of doing each type of party. But if you know that you're going to have a really busy month and, doing an in-home party or spending the time to do an online party isn't going to be great for you, do basket parties. Be intentional at booking basket parties. Again, we mentioned this before. When booking, work for the in-home party first. If that's not going to work, shift to offering a basket party. And then ideally, basket parties are going to run for about 2 weeks. The reason for this is that, of course, we have a Scentsy rule that you can't hold payment for more than 2 weeks. But any longer than that, that basket party is probably just sitting on a counter or on your host's desk, and they've kind of lost the momentum. And your customers who ordered in the very beginning of the party are sitting there thinking like, well, when am I going to get my goodies? So I always try to say for my host, when I drop it off, we're going to set a date for closing it. And then I might even say, hey, if we get it turned in by that time, I'm going to give you a little goodie. I'm going to use my perpetual award, so I'm not really out anything. And as a thank you for getting that on time. One thing to consider too is pay periods. So when you're looking at your deadlines, make sure that that passes over a pay period for most of your host customers, so that way they're able to pay for their orders. Okay, so where is your host going to take this basket party? They have this, it's in their hands. Your job is going to be to really encourage them to take it with them wherever they go. So work, church, practices, games. If they're going to be hanging out with family and friends, over a holiday like 4th of July, Memorial Day, Christmas, whatever it might be, encourage them to take that with them. And, I would also encourage them to say it doesn't have to be like you're not salesy, right? You don't have to be salesy. Take it with you. Sit on there, send a little message out and say, hey, I'm hosting a Scentsy basket party for a few days. If you'd love to check this out, come over, take it to your desk, sit around, sniff them together. I will say when you're in a group setting and they're kind of all smelling them and looking at things together, it really does encourage each other to order, because you're saying, oh, so-and-so, that would look so great in your living room, or that looks just like something your daughter would love, and so on. So wherever they go, the basket party should be going with them. Now, during the summer months when it is warm, do not forget to encourage your host not to leave that basket party in the car. This is something you don't want to forget, because what will happen is they're not the consultant. They don't think about how low temperature that wax melts, and they're going to leave it in their car, and you're going to get a basket party back that is melted. So be sure to cover this. Also, consider that when you're setting up your party with your, found a typo, with your customers, that maybe you set an online party link on your PWS for the host to share with friends and family. They're going to have people that don't live close by that may want to get something, and so setting that up allows them to share that link with those people, and they can order and help boost those host rewards. Okay, why do you want to incorporate basket parties into your business? Oh my gosh, why not, right? They are a great way to supplement your business. So again, if you're busy or you want to, think about in a month, you could have 2 home parties going. So you have one this week and one a couple weeks later. You could have 4 basket parties going while you're doing that. And so you can really build up your business in a great way by implementing basket parties. Like I just mentioned, you can have multiple basket parties going on at the same time. Now, work with what your budget will let you do. So you start out with one basket party, and then as you get your next Scentsy paycheck, go ahead and purchase another one. I like to have 4 on hand because I want them going all the time. I will also, when I do book a home party, I will give a basket party to that host to collect orders before we get to that party date. So having extras is always a good idea. So an example, why are basket parties so great? Well, think about it. If you had 4 basket parties a month, and those average $500 in sales, because you're going to be a great coach and give them all the tools they need to make that party get to $500, you would earn $2,000 in PRV and $500 plus in commissions. And I added plus on there because at $2,000 in PRV, you're going to earn a 5% bonus on your wholesale. And of course, if you have a team, you could bump into the next leadership level and get even more commissions. How cool would that be? Basket parties are also a great way to gain new customers. You're going to have that whole, let's say you have a host that gets 10 customers to order. You have 10 new customers. If 4 parties a month, 40 new customers in a month. And when you start doing follow-up with them, very intentional follow-up, and booking parties with them and talking to them about joining, think about how much your business could grow. This is a great way also for a host to pretend to be a consultant and see what they think, because they we talked about before, kind of being a consultant in themselves during that time. It's a great way for them to see, oh, maybe I do want to do this. This isn't as hard as I thought. And then at the end of the basket party, at the end of the home party or the online party, always offer the opportunity. Let them know how great they did and how you think they'd be such a great consultant. And then, we have you can use your host rewards to earn a kit now. So check that out on your workstation and let your host know that she could use her host rewards to get her own kit. for free or cheap. Okay, and then finally, let's wrap up by talking about how to make them successful. How to make your basket party successful. Well, first, be a great coach. In our Kickin Wicks comments in the file section, you can find a really great host coaching checklist. I believe there's also one in the workstation. This just gives you a really great tool to like make sure that you're covering all the bases and talking to them consistently. You should be contacting them every couple of days. And giving them all the tools. Again, they're your pretend consultant for a minute, so you need to be sure they have everything they need to know how to answer questions for their customers and so on. Be prepared. Not only make sure your basket parties are ready to go at a moment's notice, but that you're ready to offer them to someone. So if you're having a conversation and they're talking about, oh my gosh, I would love to have that warmer, I would love to have that new Disney buddy, talk to them about, like, oh my gosh, I have a basket party ready to go. If you'll take that and I'll coach you along the way, collect some orders, and we will get you those goodies for, you know, a discount or for free. But if you don't have those ready to go, you're going to be scrambling or putting time off. If someone talks about hosting a party, you want to get that on the books and out ASAP. Be a great communicator. This is one thing that I have seen when we have people that have basket parties that fails. It really comes down to the consultant not being a great communicator. Share ideas with your customer, your host, on how to find, you know, people to share that with. Be on call to answer their questions. If you don't know the answer, talk to your sponsor, your upline, to get that answer and then communicate that back to them. Don't go MIA. There's no reason why the host should be trying to figure out how to get a hold of you to answer the questions their customers may have. Be encouraging. Remember, your host is acting as your liaison. We've talked about this a few different times. Help them feel confident. Help them make a wish list at the very beginning of the party to make sure that they know kind of what they're working towards, and let them know that they're getting close to the next level of rewards. I always say, don't just tell your customer that, or your host, that they can get rewards at $200, because yes, they can, but they get the best rewards at $500. Because what can happen is if you tell your host, hey, you get rewards at $200, they'll get to $200 and stop. I've seen it time and time again. So it really encouraged your host to work towards that $500 mark. And even if they don't quite get there, they're likely getting well above $200, which is great for you both. But maybe they get to $420 and you say, hey, you're only $80 away from bumping up to the next level. And that might push them on a little bit further to get to that point. And then don't forget to encourage her to pass the party. So when your host is done, let them know, hey, if you'll find someone else to pass that party on to that will book, I'm going to give you an extra half-price reward, again, using the perpetual reward or some other goodie you might have on hand. Encouraging every host to pass the party is a great way to continue building your business through basket parties. So I hope this is encouraging and inspiring for you. I'm going to challenge you today to go work to book 2 basket parties to drop off in the next few days, and I cannot wait to see what you do.